Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're just going to do a basic get ready with me. I've already done my base. I'm still working on figuring out where I get the best lighting as far as with having the air conditioner, needing to keep my curtains closed to keep the room from getting too hot. I'm going to start off right off the bat and apologize for any background noise you hear. I've got a kid up making a bunch of noise. I've also got a neighbor who decided today was a good day to replace his roof. And I am not turning my air conditioner off because even though it's still early, it gets miserably hot in this room with my door closed and the AC off. So again, I apologize for any background noise you come up with. There's also animals in the house, kitty cats, puppy dogs. So you may hear them periodically, but they are fine. They're just mad because my door's closed. So, let's go ahead and get into this. I've done my base already. I used my typical products, the Pure Lease Matcha Green Tea Primer, the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation, and the Benefit Boying Concealer for the under eye area. And then I topped that off with the Ciate London Setting Powder. So, like I said, today's just a simple little get ready with me. We're going to do a relatively basic no makeup look. And we are going to be using the Balm Greatest Hits Volume 2 in the palm of your hand for this because it has the eyeshadows, it has the highlighter, it has the blush, it has the bronzer. This is by far the best grab and go palette if you're going to be gone for a weekend and you just want to have as little bit of product as you can possibly get to take with you. This is the best grab and go palette. So we're going to start off going through my brushes because I got to find the ones I'm looking for. Okay. Oh yeah, there's my good fluffy brush. This is the 35EM mini tapered brush from Farrah Brushes. I've got just a little bit of foam out of a box that I've stuffed down into a bowl. It makes a relatively decent makeshift color switch. It at least knocks any loose powder away. I need to clean my brushes. That is for sure, but that's okay. So we're going to start off. We're going to go into Meet Matte Rousseau from the Meet Matte collection. And that is going to be our transition shade. We're going to go, because of the shape of my eyes, just above the natural crease. And we don't want it to be too heavy. We just want it to be really, really light. Just barely there. Repeat that on the other eye. I gotta bring my mirror a little. Actually, no, I've got a mirror in my hand. What am I thinking? Okay. We're just gonna blend that out a little bit and bring it down. We want to cover most of the lid with this really light, nude, almost invisible shade. Of course, if you're not my skin tone, it won't be as nude on you. It just, what works as a nude eyeshadow is entirely dependent on your personal skin tone. I'm gonna bring that on, same shade, just bring it all the way down onto the lid, all over. To just above the crease. See? Just like that. Again, repeat that on the other side. And I apologize if I keep putting this palette in front of my face. It's got a mirror on it that I'm using instead of trying to grab my big mirror and potentially having a flash on the camera. So, but it's nice to be able to see what I'm doing beyond just what I can see on my screen. So again, we're just going to bring that all the way down onto the lid, all the way across up to just above the crease. I'm going to bring that out just a little bit at the outer corner to form just a little bit of a V at that outer corner. I don't know if y'all can see that. Again, I'm still trying to figure out where I get my best lighting and how best to set up in here. I'm planning on making some changes. I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go yet, but I'm planning on making some major changes that will include a change to my recording space eventually. But I don't have a whole lot of information to share on that right now because I don't know. Okay, so next we're going to go into the shade Firm, which is this slightly shimmery shade. It is from the Nude Dudes palette originally. I'm just going to go real lightly into that with the exact same brush. And we're going to take it just above the upper lash line and into the outer corner just a little bit, just to add the tiniest little bit of shimmer. See? I hope you can see that. And again, repeat that on the other side. Just the tiniest little bit right at the upper lash line, across the lid and into the outer corner. There we go. And then we're gonna take and dust this brush off. And in case anyone didn't know, no, my videos are never edited. What you see is exactly how it gets recorded. So at least you know I'm being totally and completely honest. Now we're going to go into the Mary Lou Manizer highlighter, which is this one down here. And we're going to take and we're going to do just under the brow with that, and we're going to bring it around into that inner corner just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. Just like that. And repeat the process on the other side. And again, being a no makeup, you don't want anything that's going to stand out too much. You just want a clean, natural-esque look. But so many people think no makeup is actually no makeup. Those of us who do makeup know better. There's no such thing as actually not wearing any makeup when it comes to no makeup looks. Okay. So next thing I'm doing is just putting away some of my brushes that I'm not going to need, so that I can get to the ones that I am going to need. And for starters, that's going to be this. It's technically a brow brush, and I do use the spoolie end of it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do my brows right now. I literally just comb through them and make them the shape I want them to be. I don't do anything special with them most of the time. I just comb them and make them lay where I want them to lay. I don't add any product or anything else. I was, I guess, blessed, given current times, with good brows. Although, back when I was a teenager in the 90s, I thought it was a curse to have thick brows because everybody had the fine, thin, practically non-existent brows. I actually went so far as to shave mine off one time just so that I could have them drawn on to look like what was fashionable at the time. I regret it. I regretted it as soon as I did it. But it is what it is. Okay. So we're going to go with the liner brush end of this right back into the Matte Russo shade, which was the first one that we did as the all over lid color. Actually, before we do that, sorry about that, we're going to spritz the brush. Even though it is a matte shade, I'm going to just slightly spritz the brush with just a little bit of spray. That's technically a refresher spray rather than a setting spray. And we're going to let that dry for the most part. Actually, no, we're not going to go into the matte shade. We're going to go into the one right beside it, which is Alice Cooper, which is a shimmer shade. And that is from the Rockstar palette. And we're just going to go into that very lightly with the edge of the liner brush. And we're going to start where we made that outer V. And we're going to use that to line our eyes. And of course, if you want to use a lighter shade for this, it's perfectly okay. If you want to use a darker shade for this, that is also perfectly okay. It's makeup. And y'all know well enough, if you've been here long enough to know me well enough, you know that my opinion on makeup is, if it makes you happy, it works. Makeup should always be done in a way that makes you feel happy and confident in how you look when you present yourself to the world. And I'm not saying that you need makeup to feel happy and confident when you present yourself to the world. That is entirely individual. I'm just saying that for people who choose to wear makeup, don't do it for any reason other than the fact that you like it. Don't let people in society tell you that you have to do your makeup and look a certain way, because you don't. The only way you have to look is the way that makes you feel your best. If you feel best without wearing any makeup at all, hey, more power to you. If you feel best with a full glam makeup look, have at it. If you feel best with just a very light, no makeup look, more power to you. It's just what makes you feel your best. Okay. And on that note, I'm going to make my line just a little bit thicker on the outer corner here, because I do like just a little bit more dramatic of a line. The more I play around with learning how to do winged liner, even with using a brush or with using a liner, pencil or liquid or felt tip pen liner, or even a cake liner. The more I play around with it, the more I've learned that I really like a wider wing that doesn't come out as far with my eye shape, like that. Okay, and now I'm going to repeat the process of lining with the same shade on the under eye. My concealer is trying to crease. That's not good. Okay. Here we go. And connect that lower line to the top line. If you can see how I did that. And I do that just because I feel like it makes it flow a little better. Now, I do have some issues with allergies this time of year, as far as with my eyes. So they will end up watery and just gross by the end of the day. But again, I don't put the makeup on because I expect it to look perfect all day. I put it on because I like to play around with it and have fun with it. Okay. bring just a little bit more of this onto the top there towards the inner corner for my personal preference on both eyes. There we go. And that has got the eyes done for the way I like them. Again, if it's not your preference to do your eyes that way, do them the way you like, because that's how makeup works. Okay. So next I'm going to take I have two of these brushes. I have one that I use for bronzer, and I have another one that is identical to it that I use for blush. So we're going to start with the bronzer one, and it is the Ulta Beauty Cheek Brush. If you watched my last video, you know that these two brushes came in the care package that my friend Janelle sent me for my birthday that arrived exactly 1 month after my birthday. Love you, Janelle. And we're going to go into the Bahama Mama bronzer. And I don't do cream contour. If I do any contouring at all, I do it with my bronzer. And I'm just gently tapping my brush onto the bronzer. Blow off any excess. And go right here. And where I'm going is right here, almost in line with this little spot on my ear, at a slanted line towards my chin. And that's where I place the cheek contouring bronzer on myself. If you have different placement that you prefer, or that you feel fits your face shape better, that's where you put it. And I want to blend this out thoroughly. I don't want it to look too dark. And then I take and do the same thing. Just gently tap the brush, blow off the excess, and I go just right along my jaw. And again, if you've got different placement that works better for you, go for it. When it comes to bronzer or contour placement, it is entirely individual. And yes, I do go all the way under my chin. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got just a little bit of what looks like a double chin here. It's not actually a double chin. It's just my face shape. And like I said, you can see from the side, it's not actually a double chin. It's just the shape of my face. Okay. And then I tap very gently into it again, blow off the excess, and then I tap right below the hairline all the way across my forehead, just to add a little bit of depth. And then I blend everything out again. And then a lot of times I will go right back in behind it with the powder brush that I use, which is the NYX Professional Makeup. This also came in my care package from Janelle, and I will re-blend every bit of that with this brush, not blush. Oh, I almost forgot my nose contour. To do my nose contour with this same brush, I just take the very edge of the brush and I very, very carefully go into the bronzer with just the edge of the brush, and then I just tap it without dipping back in along the side of my nose where I want that to be placed. And that placement will vary from one day to the next, depending on the makeup look I'm doing and the overall finished effect that I want to have. And then I just kind of blend that out, and you can see it's not very noticeable at all. Yeah, this camera placement is not going to work for future filmings, but that's okay. You try it, you learn it don't work, you move on. Okay, so now then, as you can see, the color of product on this one which is yet another Ulta Beauty cheek brush. Is definitely not the same as the color that is on the end of that one from usage. That's definitely my bronzer brush. This is definitely my cheek brush. Now, there are 3 different blush shades to choose from in here. I tend to go for Down Boy or Frat Boy because Insta just feels a little too bright for me. But we're going to give that one a try today. We're going to use Insta. It also has just a little bit of a shimmer to it, so we definitely don't want too much. And we just gently tap that. And actually where I put my blush is right along the bottom of where my cheekbone actually sits. And I take that up towards my temple. Now, I do have relatively high cheekbones, and therefore that does have some effect on where I put my blush. And after I get that laid down, I go back in with my powder brush and just kind of smooth it out and blend it out so that it's not too much. Again, I apologize for the outside noise. That's the teenager that lives in the house that's up and about this morning. Okay, and you get that blended out so that it looks not too much, just a little bit of a pink glow. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this blush, which is from Moda Pro. It is the BMX 265 Glow highlighter brush, and I'm going to go back into the Mary Lou Manizer highlighter, the same one I used on my eyes, and I'm just going to gently tap that right onto the top of my cheekbone. And yes, that is actually the top of my cheekbone. And then just with what is residual on the brush, I'm going to go down my nose, and that's it. That is all of the highlighter I'm going to use. I'm going to go right back in with my powder brush and blend that out just a little bit so that it looks more of a natural glow rather than a highlighting product. There we go. That's got the basics of the face done. Now then I'm going to go into my trusty little mascara bag here. And I'm going to use the Tarte C Surfer Curl Mascara. My mom actually picked this as the product for her Ipsy Glam Bag Plus for this month with the intention of giving it to me because she knows I have a thing for mascaras. And again, we don't want to go with too much, but for me personally, there's no such thing as too much mascara. I do not go a day without mascara. Even if it's the only makeup I put on, I have to have on my mascara. I just don't feel like I've got a complete look without it. And get our bottom lashes here too. And again, I apologize for the glare that's coming through that window, I think. It's not the most effective curtain, though admittedly it has kept my air conditioner from popping back on while I've been recording so far. We're not quite done. I've still got to do the lips, but that's got the eyes and the face done. And so the very last thing to do is to go in here where I have organized all of my lip products. And the go-to that I have started using when I want just a light nude lip is the Contour Cosmetics No. 4 Juju. It is a liquid lip product, but it is fantastic. And I just dab a little bit of that on. and then I will come back and smooth it out in just a minute. There we go. Create my Cupid's bow. Let me grab my mirror real quick, make sure I've got that all nice and smoothed out. There we go. And here you have the finished look that is essentially a no makeup look. This is about as no makeup as I personally like to look. So that is the look for the day. If we are Facebook friends, be sure to keep an eye on my Facebook page. I'm going to be posting a couple of pictures for a Draw My Makeup game where I have people draw makeup looks, and then I will do my best to recreate them here on the channel. I am also in the process of collecting looks from the fashion game Covet with the purpose of recreating those on this channel as well. I've got a few submissions that I've got to look through and figure out what colors I need, which palettes I'm going to need to use, and all of that so that I can recreate those makeups. And I will see y'all next time. Bye!